Genel Başkanı Cumhurbaşkanımız Recep Tayyip Erdoğan. AK Parti Genel Başkanı Cumhurbaşkanımız Recep Tayyip Erdoğan ve saygıdeğer eşi Emine Erdoğan hanımefendi, siz saygıdeğer İzmirli hemşehrilerimizi saygıyla, muhabbetle selamlıyor. Teşekkürler İzmir. İşte teşkilat, işte lider, AK kadroların genel başkanı Cumhurbaşkanımız Recep Tayyip Erdoğan.
İnan, inan, inandığın yolda yürü.
Ömrünü ülkesine ve milletine adayan lider, genel başkanımız Cumhurbaşkanımız Recep Tayyip Erdoğan.
19 yaşında milletinin yanında, 19 yaşında inandığımız yolda, 19 yaşında milletinin yanında, 19 yaşında.
Buyurun, buyurun. Maşallah. Bu ne güzellik.
This is a very beautiful view.
İzmir inşallah bir diriliş muştusunu bizlere bugün
Izmir
veriyor.
hopefully is giving us good news of revival today.
...2023'te ilgili bir başka müjdeyi bugün aldığımızı görüyorum.
I see that we are receiving good news for 2023 today.
Sevgili İzmirliler, sevgili Hakkari'liler,
Dear residents of Izmir,
sevgili Nevşehirliler,
Hakkari and Nevşehir,
AK Parti il teşkilatlarımızın değerli mensupları,
dear members of AK Party's provincial organizations,
sevgili gençler,
dear ladies, dear youth,
dava ve yol arkadaşları,
my colleagues on this coast and on this journey, I greet all of you
hasretle,
from the depths of my
muhabbetle
heart.
selamlıyorum. Seviyorum seni. Tamam, seviyorum, seviyorum.
Okay, I love you back,
Sevgilerine inanıyorum.
and I am convinced in your love.
Kongrelerimizde görev üstlenecek kardeşlerimi
I
şimdiden
congratulate
tebrik
my
ediyorum.
brothers and sisters who are going to take up new posts today, and I wish them and their teams success in the upcoming term. Since the day our party was founded, our colleagues who worked in the main organization, in the women's or youth branches, or in our various departments, all of our brothers and sisters who took up positions and who made efforts, I send my greetings and my gratitude to all of them.
Bu kardeşlerimizden dar-ı bekaya irtihal etmiş
And some
olanlara
of these brothers and
Allah'tan rahmet
sisters have
diliyorum.
passed away, and may God's
Bugünkü
grace be
kongrelerimizin
on their souls.
Anadolu'nun
Our
en
congresses today
batısındaki
range
İzmir'den
from Izmir, which is on the
ortasındaki Nevşehir'e
western end of
ve en
Anatolia, to
doğusundaki
Hakkari,
uzanan
which
bir
is on
hatta
the eastern edge,
Türkiye'nin
to Nevşehir, which is right in the middle of Anatolia.
birlikte
So in
kucaklayarak
today's congress,
gerçekleştiriyoruz.
we are embracing the whole Anatolia.
İzmir'de bizimdir,
İzmir
Nevşehir'de
belongs to us,
bizimdir,
and so does Nevşehir,
Hakkari'de
and so
bizimdir.
does Hakkari.
Türkiye'nin bu büyük zenginliğini hazmedemeyenler,
There are those who cannot come to terms with this diversity and richness of our country. They want to shatter and divide our country. And at every period, from crusades to severe agreements, they have tried to fight against us. The same mentality is today making attacks on our unity and on our brotherhood.
Maşallah. Allah nazardan saklasın.
May God bless all of you. This attack, sometimes, like it was in the first quarter of the past century, it took the form of occupying our land directly with troops. As the poet says in our national anthem, the horizons of the west may be bound with walls of steel, but my borders are guarded by the mighty bosom of a believer. Bellow out, do not be afraid, and think, how can this fiery faith ever be extinguished? By that battered, single-fanged monster you call civilization. They tried to take us hostage in Anatolia, and they even tried to eliminate us entirely. But all of these attempts failed at the waters of the İzmir Bay.
İstiklal Harbimizde Sevr'i paçavraya çeviren
Thanks to our War of Independence, our nation was able to turn a blank page and establish the Republic of Turkey, and they have guaranteed their 1,000-year existence on Anatolia. Those who tried to occupy this holy land with their armies, when they saw that they were failing with the insidious methods, they have started using new tools for the same purpose. Terror is the most fierce and most bloody and the most cruel of these tools. Hakkari is one of our provinces who is feeling the pain of terror the most. And İzmir, just like in many other provinces of our country, has suffered under terror attacks. There are brothers and sisters who have migrated to İzmir from eastern provinces who were trying to run away from terror, and today we are also going to attend an international conference on migration here in İzmir. The PKK terror organization has an unethical and cruel face, and those brothers and sisters know this face the best. In no part of the world there you could find intellectuals or NGOs or political parties which defend terror groups and their extensions. But unfortunately, that is not the case in our country. Such a dirty mentality has always existed in our country, and they continue today as well. For almost 40 years, terror groups have targeted little babies, to young students, to mothers who try to protect their children, or the elderly. They are massacring, they're killing everyone. And now I call out from here to the CHP and Kılıçdaroğlu. Have you ever visited the mothers in Diyarbakır? Have you visited mothers who were suffering from terror in Diyarbakır? Are you aware of what is going on in Diyarbakır? Rather than condemning the terror group, you always blame the government, and they have a share in the killing of every innocent person as well. And this person it has a share as well. We try to repel terror groups, and we do not walk with those who try to help those dark forces, but we rather march on this journey with those who stand with their state.
Ekranları başında bizi izleyen milletime sesleniyorum.
And I call out to my nation who are watching us in front of their screen. We are there in the mountain of Judy and Gabar. We are present in Tendürek. We are present at the Besler River. Wherever they hide, in whichever cave they hide, we go into that cave. We have turned those places into cemeteries for them. And tens of thousands of terrorists have been eliminated, and there are currently only a few hundred. And you can see here the distance that we have made possible. And now I call out to our nation. We would like to see you on this important cause as well. We want to see you among our ranks, because CHP and its followers
Biz de sizlerle gurur duyuyoruz.
I'm proud of you as well.
Sizlerle iftihar ediyoruz. Sizler elinde silahla dolaşan bir gençlik değil.
You are not a youth that is walking around with weapons, but you are a youth which use computers.
Sizler kitapların arasında geleceği hazırlayan bir gençliksiniz.
You are a youth that prepare the future with books.
Aynı şekilde hanım kardeşlerimi
And
de
similarly,
böyle görüyorum.
that is how I see the women of our organization. I congratulate you.
Kardeşlerim, şimdi son zamanlarda CHP ve şürekasının
Recently,
Hazine ve Maliye
the Republican
Eski Bakanımız
People's Party and its partners
Berat Albayrak'ı
are
ve onun
making
nezdinde
certain
tüm ailemle
slanders
birlikte
against my whole family,
şahsımı
including the
hedef alan
previous
bir kampanya
Minister
yürütüyor.
of Treasury and Finance. They're running a campaign which targets us.
Ülkenin ve milletin hayrına en küçük bir
They don't have
sözlerine
even
ülkenin ve milletin
they don't have
hayrına
even the
en
faintest
küçük bir sözlerine
help
ve
to
duruşlarına
the
şahit
benefit of our
olmadığımız
country and our
CHP
nation.
yöneticilerinin
But the
hezeyanlarıyla
leadership of CHP,
uğraşmayı zül addettiğimiz için
since we find it in vain to answer their lies, we have first ignored this campaign.
bu iş artık
But
siyaset boyutuna
it
aşıp
has now gone beyond politics, and now as a human being, it has
ve
now
özgürlüklere
targeted
de
our main rights
özellikle
and
de
freedoms,
ailemize
and
saldırı
especially
boyutuna varınca
targeting our families.
ağızlarının payını
And in that
vermekte
case, it is
üzerimize
now
vacip
our
oldu.
duty to respond to them.
İzmir'in en büyük talihsizliği CHP'nin başındaki zatın bu şehrin milletvekili
The biggest misfortune that fell on
mecliste yer
Izmir
alması.
was that it is represented in the parliament with such
Onun
people.
için de kendisine cevaplarımı bu şehirden vermenin
For that reason,
daha doğru
I thought it would be the best to
inanıyorum.
respond to his lies from this city.
Buna inandığım için zaten cevabı buradan vermeyi önemsedim.
Since I believed that, I thought it would be important to respond to him here.
Böylece İzmirli kardeşlerimiz bu zatın gerçek yüzünü
So that my
doğrudan
brothers and
görme
sisters in
imkanına
Izmir can get the
kavuşacaklardır.
opportunity to see his
Gerçi
real
bu zat
face. But this
bugüne
person,
kadar
so far,
belgeleriyle, mahkeme kararlarıyla
Even though with documents and
şahitleriyle
court resolutions
yüzüne
and
vurduğumuz
witnesses,
onca yalanına,
we
iftirasına,
have uncovered many of his lies.
sürekli aynı şeyleri
Despite all the
söylemeyi
lies and
sürdürerek
slander, he
asıl
continues
niyetini ortaya
claiming
koymuştur.
the same claims, and he has made his
Önüne
real intentions
hangi hakikatler
evident.
konursa
No matter
konsun,
which facts he is
kendisine
presented with,
önceden ezberletilen,
he only
tabii
keeps
bilmiyoruz ama
repeating
belki de
what he was
dayatılan
made, what he is
çerçeveye
maybe
sadık
even
kalarak
forced to say.
aynı şeyleri
He is keeping
sürekli
loyal to that same
tekrarlayıp
frame,
duruyor.
and he keeps
Öyle
repeating
ki
the same things.
geçen hafta iki
To such an
bakanımız
extent that
grup
last
toplantısının
week,
hemen öncesinde
2 of our ministers, right
kendisine
before the
gittim.
group meeting, have visited
Başkanım,
him,
ne dersiniz dedi.
and they
İsabet
asked for
olur.
his opinion.
Ve
They asked my opinion. I agreed
İçişleri
to it.
Bakanımla Savunma
Our ministers
Bakanı da
of Interior and Defense
gerek CHP Genel Başkanına gerekse İyi Parti Genel
visited
Başkanına
the leaders
gönderdi.
of CHP and E Party
Gitsinler
so that they could go
bu katliamla ilgili
and
kendilerini
inform them
bilgilendirsinler istedim.
about the recent massacre.
Gençler, tabii bakanlarım bana bunu söyleyince
Of course, when my ministers told
tabii
me
ben
that,
de bu CHP'nin başındakini adam zannettim.
I thought the person leading the CHP was a proper person. I agreed for them to go inform him.
Bizzat hani diyor ya haberimiz yok.
He says he was not
İşte asıl
informed.
kaynağından
Here,
Savunma Bakanım
you
İçişleri
get
Bakanı.
the information
Bizzat
from the
gitsinler
source, the
anlatsınlar
ministers of Interior and
istedim.
Defense.
Gittiler,
They visited him
belgeleriyle,
and they
bilgileriyle
presented all the information
hangi
and
soruyu
documents
sorarlarsa
to him,
sorsunlar cevap
and
verdi.
they answered all the questions that they were asked.
İkili görüşmelerden sonra
And
tabii
after
yanlarında
bilateral
kendi
talks,
arkadaşları da var.
of course, they had delegations on both sides, even though
Daha
this
sonra
was carried out,
mecliste
even though they were
maalesef
informed in the parliament.
tamamıyla
Unfortunately, they claimed
sınır
the
aşan
opposite,
bir yapıyla
with a structure that goes beyond
edep
limits,
dışı her şeyi
and
yapıyor.
they said lies
İşte
about
onun için
these two
biz diyoruz ki,
colleagues,
Kemal
many
Kılıçdaroğlu,
unethical lies. And for that
CHP'nin
reason,
başında
we say
siyasetin kendi mecrasında oraya gelmiş genel başkan olarak değil,
he is not
bir
leading
proje
CHP
olarak
as a
bulunmaktadır.
chairman who won that position, but rather he is kept there within the scope of a project.
Yanındakiler de
And
o
people who
projenin
are with him are
diğer başlıklarıdır.
other players of the same project.
Nitekim
They're
Gara
supporters.
operasyonunun milletimizde yol açtığı
The
öfkeyi
Gara operation has
PKK'nın
caused certain
üzerinden
fury
uzaklaştırmak,
on our nation, and in
uluslararası
order to
alanda
divert that fury
PKK'nın
away
güç
from
durumda
PKK,
kalmasını
and in
engellemek
order
için
to
akla
help
ziyan
PKK
yollara
not fall
başvurması,
into a difficult
bu
position
tespiti bir kez
internationally,
daha doğruluyor.
they have started using
Berat
such
Bey'le
methods.
ve onun üzerinden
They are now
şahsımızla
targeting
ilgili
Mr.
kampanyaya
Albayrak, and
hız
in this
verilmesinin
campaign they're also
amaçlarından
attacking
biri de bu.
myself, and this is one of the reasons
Dertlerinin
why they have
ülke ve
initiated
millet
this
olmadığı,
campaign now. Their
hakikatleri
main
bin
goal
defa
is not to help the
dinleseler de
country and
yine
nation,
kafalarındaki
and even if they
senaryo
are presented with facts
kendilerine
1,000
tebliğ
times,
edilen
they
misyonun
only
gereğini
carry
yerine
out the mission
getirmeyi
that they were
sürdüreceklerini
given,
elbette
or they
biliyoruz.
repeat the information
Bununla
that they
birlikte
were given.
milletimize
And in addition to
ve
that,
özellikle de İzmir'e olan saygımız gereği
due to our respect for our nation and for the
ülkemizin
province
diğer
of
alanlarla
Izmir,
birlikte
in the past
ekonomide
8
yaşadığı
years,
saldırıları
our
buna karşı
country has
verdiğimiz
faced attacks in
mücadeleyi
economy, in
özetle
addition to
anlatmak
other
istiyorum.
areas, and I'd like to summarize to you the attacks in both economy and in those other areas.
Gençler, bunları özellikle sizin çok iyi bilmeniz gerekiyor.
And the youth should know this quite well,
Sahibi herkes
because
teslim
anyone
edecektir
with
ki,
conscious
bu
and with
mücadelenin
right
ekonomik
mind would
boyutunun
accept
en ön
that
safında Berat Bey yer almıştır.
Berat Albayrak was at the forefront of our fight in the area of economy.
Ardından
First in
ekonomide
energy,
ifa ettiği
then in
görevlerdeki
economy,
en
he
büyük
assumed important
talihsizliği,
positions, and
damat
his
sıfatının
top
bu
misfortune
alanlardaki
was
birikimi,
that his
gayreti
title
ve
of being
başarısının
son-in-law
önüne
was always
geçirilmiş olmasıdır.
used before his
herhangi bir
real
siyasetçi
achievements as a
olarak
person.
bu işleri
If
yapsaydı,
if he
kendisiyle
carried out the
ilgili
same
değerlendirmeler
work as any
daha
politician,
objektif
there would be
yapılabilirdi
much
diye
more
düşünüyorum.
objective and positive
Türkiye'nin
considerations and
son
evaluations of
dönemde
him.
enerji alanında
Turkey,
yaptığı
in
atılımların
the recent
temelinde
times, has made
Berat
leaps
Bey'in
in the
bakanlığı
area of
döneminde
energy,
geliştirdiği
and this was possible
strateji
due to
ve
the
yaptığı
strategy
hazırlıklar
and the
bulunuyor.
preparations that Berat Albayrak carried out
Karadeniz'deki
when he was the
doğalgaz
Minister
rezervinin
of
keşfini
Energy.
yapan
For instance,
sismik
the
araştırma
seismic
ve
research
derin
and
deniz
exploration
sondaj gemilerimizin alınmasıyla
ships, for instance, which
başlanmasından
discovered the reserves in the
madencilik
Black Sea,
alanındaki
were
açılımlara
procured
kadar
during his
ülkemizin
tenure,
pek çok
during
yeni
his time, and
kazanımların
in
altında
many
Berat
of
Bey'in imzası var.
other steps were made possible
Bu
thanks to his
iki
efforts.
sismik araştırma,
The
üç
two
tane
seismic
sondaj
research
gemisi
and
ve şimdi
three
bir tane
drilling
daha
ships,
geliyor.
and there is an
Bunların
additional one
fiyatlarına
arriving
baktığınız
now. When you
zaman
look at their
adeta
prices,
bir
they are
otomobil fiyatı
almost
gibi.
at the price of
Bu
a
nedir bu?
car, which
Bunun adı
shows us
finansı
that
yönetmek,
this is successful
parayı
management
yönetmektir.
of
Bunu
finances, and this is
başardığı
successful
için kuduruyorlar.
fiscal management, and that is why they are
başardığı
losing their
için
minds, because he
çıldırıyorlar.
was able to achieve this.
Türkiye ekonomisini bundan önce bu gemileri kiralamayla almaya kalksanız
If you
veya
try to rent
daha
these
önce
ships,
biz
as was done in the
Chevron,
past,
BP
or Chevron,
bunlara
BP,
Karadeniz'de
we were
araştırma
allowing them
üstelik de
research in the Black Sea and not even paying them. They would come,
bulurlarsa
and
bulduklarında
if they
yarısını bize
find, they
verecekler.
would give us half of the reserves that they
Yaptıkları
find.
harcamalar
And the
miktarınca
expenditures
parayla
that they
cebimizden
make
bir kuruş çıkmadan
without
attık
paying a
ama şimdi
single
baktık
lira
ki
out of our pockets, we took the step. But now we notice that it is possible to purchase these ships at much lower prices, and we did so. We currently have 5 vessels, and the 6th one is about to arrive.
Türkiye ekonomisini daha da güçlü kılmak için
In order
pek
to
çok
make
alanda
Turkish economy
tarihi öneme sahip
more
uygulamalarda
stronger,
Berat
we
Bey,
have
Hazine ve
carried
Maliye
out
Bakanlığı
historic steps
döneminde
during
hayata
his
geçirdi.
time as the Minister of Treasury and Finance.
Gençler, bunlar arasında çok ehemmiyetli
Among them,
gördüklerimden biri de
One of the
katılım
One of those who I
şirketlerinde
find the most
yeni iş
important
modellerinin
was to
geliştirilmesi
develop new
ve
business
katılım
models for
şirketlerinin
participation companies,
faizsiz finansman yöntemlerini
and with interest-free financing, the diversification of interest-free financing from participation finance institutions.
bilindiği gibi burada bir adım çok çok önemli.
As you know, one step is
Ekranları
very
başında
crucial
bizi
here.
izleyen milletime tekrar
And
hatırlatayım.
I would like to remind to our nation
Çünkü
who are
bu
watching
CHP,
us in front of their
bunlar
screens.
faizcidir.
This CHP,
Bu
they
CHP,
are interest chasers.
Bunlar IMF'çidir.
They are supporters of
IMF'nin
IMF.
temsilcileriyle
They have
kapalı
met
kapılar arkasında
behind closed doors with the
pazarlık
representatives of
yapanlar bunlar.
IMF. They are the ones who bargained
Biz
with them.
göreve geldiğimizde
When we came to
Türkiye'nin
office, Turkey
IMF'ye borcu neydi biliyor musunuz?
owed money to IMF. Do you know how much it was?
Hanım kardeşlerim,
Ladies,
IMF'ye borcumuz neydi biliyor
do you know
musunuz?
how much we owed to
23,5
IMF?
milyar
We
dolar.
owed them $23.5 billion.
Biz Mayıs 2013'te
In May 2013,
IMF'ye olan
We
borçları
paid off
ödedik
our debt
ve
to
Mayıs
IMF
2013'te
to finally
IMF'ye olan borcu
we
sıfırladık.
entirely paid it off by May 2013.
Bay Kemal, ey Faik Öztürk, bilir misiniz şu anda bizim IMF'ye bir Allah kuruşu borcumuz yok. Bitti bu iş.
Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu and Faik Öztürk, do you know that we don't owe anything to IMF at the moment? It's now completely over.
Bize diyorlar ki IMF'den gidin borç alın.
They are asking us to go borrow money from IMF, but that is your
Sizin
competency.
karakterinizdir.
That is your
Bizde bu yok.
personality. We don't have that.
Ve geliyorum bir başka yere.
And that brings me to
Bunlar
another
sahtekar.
point.
Ne diyorlar?
They are liars.
Şu anda Merkez Bankası'nın döviz rezervi
They say that
sıfırlandı.
the foreign currency reserves of the central bank
Sıfırın altına
have
düştü.
completely been lost and it's at the negative
Göreve
territory at the
geldiğimizde
moment.
27,5
When we
milyar
came to
dolar
office,
döviz rezervi vardı.
our
Merkez
foreign
Bankası.
currency reserves were at
Şimdi
27
95
billion
milyar
dollars.
dolar
Currently it is
döviz
95
rezervimiz var.
billion dollars.
Ama bir rakam daha söyleyeceğim.
But let me give you another figure.
Başbakanlığım döneminde
During my time
Başbakanlığım döneminde
in office as the
bu
prime
döviz
minister
rezervi 2013
in the year
132
2013,
milyar dolara kadar
it
çıktı.
was raised up to 132
Ondan sonra
billion
bir düşüşle
dollars.
95'e indi.
and it then went down
Bu ne
to
demektir?
95,
Biz yeniden 132'ye de çıkarız.
which
200'e de
means
çıkarız.
we can go up to 130 again and even up to 200 in our foreign
Çünkü
exchange
biz-
reserves,
Bu işi biliyoruz.
because we know how to manage the finances.
Kardeşlerim, bizim akıl hocalarımız Batı değil.
Our mentors are not the West.
CHP'nin akıl hocaları orada.
That is where the mentors of the Republican People's Party are. But our
Kendi içimizde.
teachers, our
Biz
mentors are
birbirimizle
among us.
dayanışma halindeyiz.
We only show solidarity among
Kendi
each
işimizi
other,
kendimiz
and we take matters
Ve
into
bu
our
adımlar
own
da böyle.
hands. And that is how we took all
Ve şu
these
anda
previous
95
steps.
milyar dolar
Currently, we have
döviz
95
rezervimiz var.
billion dollars as our foreign currency
Bildiği gibi
reserves at
küresel
the
sağlık
central bank.
krizinin damgasını
As you
vurduğu
know, the
2020
global health
yılında
crisis
hem
hit
arz
the year
hem de talep
2020
cephesinde eşi
in
benzeri
both supply
görülmemiş şoklar
and
yaşayan
demand.
dünya ekonomileri
Various global
derinden
economies
sarsıldı.
faced many shocks and they were
Küresel tedarik
shaken
zincirlerinin
by these shocks.
ciddi yaralar
Global
aldı.
supply chains
Üretimden
were
istihdama,
also hit
küresel
severely.
ekonominin
From
her
manufacturing
alanda
to
daraldığı bu
employment,
dönemde
global
Berat
economy
Bey'in
shrank in every
sorumluluğunda
area.
aldığımız
But
hızlı ve
thanks
etkin
to the
tedbirlerle
rapid and effective
ülkemizin
measures which we
süreci
took
en
under
az zararla
leadership of
geçirmesini
Berat
sağladık.
Albayrak, we were able to overcome this
Şimdi
process with the least harm.
Berat Bey de
But now,
hukuk çerçevesinde bugün
Berat
itibariyle
Albayrak, by today,
tabii
he
ki
is going to
yargıda
apply
hakkını
to
arayacaktır.
courts in order to get his
Aynı
rights.
şekilde biliyorsunuz ben
And
de birçok
similarly,
davalar açtım.
I have filed many
Açtığım
court
her
cases
davayı da
myself,
kazanıyorum.
and I win each one of
Ondan
these
sonra dert yanıyor.
court cases. And then
Şimdi yargıya giderler.
he
ha,
starts
nereye
complaining.
gideceğim?
They claim that I will
Gideceğimiz
go
tek
to
yer
the
var
courts, but where else can I go? That
senin
is,
paran
the
bol
judiciary
zaten.
is the only place that I can
Senden o
apply.
parayı alıp
You have a lot of money
onları da
already.
fakir fukaraya,
I will
garip
take that
kurabaya
money from
dağıtacağız.
you and we will distribute it to those who need it.
Yapacağımız iş bu.
And that is what we can do.
Salgının ekonomik ve sosyal etkileriyle mücadelemizin sürdüğü şu dönemde
We continue our fight against the economic and social impacts of the pandemic, but they have initiated a low-level and unjustified campaign against our Minister Albayrak about the foreign currency reserves, but that does not come from having information. When we inform them about the most critical issues, we know how they act or how they react to that information. There may be some of our citizens who are confused by the lies of the Republican People's Party. So I would like to clarify this issue of foreign currency reserves. Turkey is being attacked economically for some time now, and with the pandemic, the financial fluctuations started in the world, and Turkey had to develop measures against this. And during these challenging times, in order not to face any problems in the payments balance, we carried out planned and controlled foreign currency transactions, all of which were carried out in line with market rules and were fully in line with law. The foreign currency did not evaporate, or there was no transaction against the law or against ethics. Thanks to these foreign currency transactions, our country was saved from shocks which had a serious impact in the rest of the world, and we managed to stick to our previously set targets.
İnşallah yıllarca bu yolda beraber yürüyeceğiz.
Hopefully we will continue on this journey together for many years to come.
CHP'nin bu izahlara rağmen
Despite all these explanations, the Republican People's Party, I'm sure, will continue chanting the same lies, but our counterpart, our interlocutor, is our very nation.
sözümüz de milletedir.
And we talk
AK Parti olarak,
with our nation only.
Cumhurbaşkanı kabinesi olarak
As AK Party and as the cabinet of the presidency, we will use all means of our country in order to build a big and strong Turkey.
ailesine
They try to attack Tayyip Erdoğan, his family, and his colleagues. They try to steal our time and our energy, but we won't allow them to divert us from our goals. And we tell them, you can't find anything here.
gidin başka kapıya.
Go play somewhere else.
Eğer milletten size iktidar yolunu açmasını istiyorsanız,
If you want the nation to vote you into office, please race with us in visions or in targets or in new projects or in investments or in real actions.
deyin ki bunlar eğitim
And
ve
do
324
tell us,
bin yeni derslik yaptı.
we have built 300,000 new classrooms for
608 bin yeni
education.
derslik yapacağız.
You can claim that you're going to build
Bunlar
600,000.
132 yeni üniversite açtı.
Or if we have opened 130 new universities, you can claim that you're going to open 260 new universities.
Bunlar
Or you can
2145
say
yeni spor tesisi
that
yaptı.
these people built 2,000 new sports facilities, but we are going to build 4,000 new
Deyin
ones.
ki
Or
bunlar
do say
aralarında şehir
that
hastanelerinin de bulunduğu
these people
1524
have
yeni sağlık tesisi inşa
built
etti.
1,500 new health facilities, and we are going to open 3,000 new ones.
Kardeşlerim, hanım kardeşlerim,
My brothers
deyin ki
and my
bunlar
sisters,
22
do
bin
say
kilometre
that they
bölünmüş
have
yol
built
yaptı.
20,000
Biz
kilometers of
44 bin
divided roads,
kilometre bölünmüş
and
yol
we are
yapacağız.
going to build 40,000.
Deyin ki
Or do
bunlar
say
11.600
that they have renewed 11,000 kilometers of rail lines, and we are going to do twice of that. Or do say that they have fought against terror members, which had tens of thousands of members in the past, and they dropped it down to 300, but we're going to drop it further to 0. Or say that they make 60 billion liras of social aid they do every year, and we're going to do twice of that. Or do claim that they have opened 120 new organized industrial zones, and we're going to do twice as much. Or do say that they have increased our installed capacity in power generation up to 92 megawatts, and we are going to double it. Or do say that they have built 1 million social apartments, we're going to build 2 million. Or do say they have increased our forests by 2 million hectares, and we're going to increase it by 4 million hectares. Or do say that they have built 600 new dams, we are going to build 1,200 new ones. Or do say they have increased the number of tourists up to 52 million, and we are going to increase it to 104 million. Do you believe that they will do any of these? Are you able to accept any of these developments? If you are not even able to claim these, so let us go. Thankfully, our organization is full. We have the youth, we have the women's branches, we have the main organization. If you are not even able to make these claims, even on paper, so get out of this country's way, because we have had enough. You don't even have a stone, and ask them. In the metropolitan cities, who should overcome the water problem? Is it the municipality's duty or the central government's duty? And Mr. Kemal would not know the answer to that question either. It is the duty of the metropolitan municipality. Saliha, they would not give you any water because you are a municipality of AK Parti. They wouldn't give you any water. Just water. They wouldn't. But we don't have that. Water is given to us by God, and you have to bring it to people.
İzmir Büyükşehir Belediyesi'nin suyunu DSİ kanalıyla buraya biz getirdik.
Brought the water of the city of Izmir through the State Hydraulic Works institution. Even though it was the duty of the metropolitan municipality, they failed to do so. And we said, even though Izmir does not vote for us, we will bring water to here. And we brought water to here through our central bodies. And that is our mentality. We don't hope that this will be, but we still hope that all these messages we give out from Izmir will find their right address in the vision, in targets, and in new projects. We will continue racing against ourselves.
Kardeşlerim, Türkiye'nin beka davasını korumak,
in order to protect the cause of survival for our country and to further that cause, we also do not ignore the economy and development of our country.
sizlerle gurur duyuyorum.
I'm proud of you as well.
Sizler bu ülkenin medarı iftiharı olan
You are
gençlersiniz.
the youth that make this country proud.
Aynı şekilde hanım kardeşlerim,
And similarly,
sizler bu milletin
the women,
medarı iftiharısınız.
you are the pride of this country.
Güçlü bir
And hopefully,
çalışmayla
with very
2023'e
strong work, we are going to
hazırlanacağız.
prepare ourselves
Bugün
for
salgından teröre kadar
2023.
pek
From
çok sıkıntıyla karşı karşıya
the
olmamıza
pandemic
rağmen
to terror, even though we are facing many challenges today, we are standing strong and we are still hopeful about our future and we're still marching towards big goals. And this is only thanks to our gainings in the past 18 years.
mukayese edilemeyecek kadar küçük tehditler ve krizler
Some others
karşısında
have faced
paniğe
much smaller
kapılan
threats
ülkelere
and
baktıkça
much smaller
bu kazanımların
challenges, but
kıymetini
they panic
daha iyi
against these small attacks.
Ülkemizin
We
her bir
understand
şehrini
the significance of what we have gained much
birikim
better.
altyapısıyla,
With schools, with the
teknolojisiyle
IT
donatırken
infrastructure, we have
engellemelerle
improved our schools.
karşılaştığımı
And you know quite well what kind of obstacles we were given
en küçük
as we were trying to
ilçesinden
achieve those.
en büyük şehrine
From the
kadar
smallest
tüm
district
yerleşim
to the
birimlerini,
largest city
hastanelerle,
of our country,
sağlık
we have built
tesisleriyle
new hospitals,
buluştururken
new
hangi
health
tacitlere
clinics,
maruz
and we were
kaldığımızı
facing
en
many
iyi
attacks
sizler
as we
biliyorsunuz.
were trying to achieve those.
Gençler, ülkemizin her karışını bölünmüş yollarla, otoyollarla,
At every inch of our country, we have built new bridges, new railways, new divided roads, new dams, new irrigation facilities, new natural gas pipelines, new electricity lines. As we have built these all over our country, as you know quite well, we had to overcome many obstacles. In all 81 provinces of our country, no matter which monument or which service that you find, they were all achieved against the old-fashioned opposition mentality that we faced. Today, we don't have any city in which natural gas didn't go.
Niye? Ya benim halkıma, benim vatandaşıma
Because
bu
my
yakışır
people,
da
my citizens, that is what they
Cumhuriyet
deserve.
tarihinde yapılanların tamamını 5'e 10'a
We
katlayan
have
yatırımlarımızın hiçbirinde
carried out 10
bunlardan
times
destek görmedik.
as much investment
Teşekkür almadık.
as was done in the whole
Bunlar
history of the
aka
republic, but
kara,
we did not get any
karaya
help
ak
from them.
demek dışında
Everything
bir
that is white they
düşüncesi,
call black,
fikri,
or everything that is
projesi,
black they call white.
feraseti,
But other than
mesaisi
that, they don't have any
olmayanların
projects
şu anda
or any
bulunduğumuz
work
İzmir'i
or any
nasıl
efforts.
sersefil
And
bıraktıklarını
we know
hep birlikte
how much
görüyoruz.
they ignored the city of
Şimdi
Izmir where we stand at the moment.
Havaalanından gelirken
For instance,
Karabağ
now as I
Havaalanı'na
was
gidiyorum.
coming from the airport, I saw the situation of Karabağlar.
Eşime onu söyledim.
And I
Şu
said
halde
this
görüyorsun,
to
değil
my
mi?
wife. I said, do
Bu
you
güzel
see?
İzmir'e yakışıyor mu?
Is this what the beautiful city
Bu
of
güzel
Izmir
İzmir'e
deserves?
böyle bir yapılanma yakışıyor mu?
Such structures. Is
Ya
this
siz
what
ne iş
Izmir
yapıyorsunuz?
deserves? So what did
Ne
you
iş
do?
yaparsınız?
What work do you do?
Bu gece konduları, bu kaçak yapıları
All these
niçin ele
illegal
alıp
construction
düzenlemiyorsunuz?
and these shanty homes
Hadi
in
bir de eliniz
neighborhoods,
oralara
why
değsin ya.
don't you build them again?
Yapmazlar,
But they wouldn't.
yapamazlar.
They cannot.
Çünkü bunlar bizim gibi dertli değil.
Because they don't have the same
Biz dertliyiz,
issues that we
dertli.
have. We have certain issues, certain goals.
Türkiye'nin en güzel şehri.
The most
Belediye
beautiful city of
hizmetlerinde
Turkey.
İlk ona bile
But
giremiyorsa
in municipal services,
bir
it's
düşünmek
not even top 10.
hükümet
And
kendi
we should think
sorumluluğundaki
about the reason
tüm
why.
temel hizmet
The
altyapılarını
government
en
is
güzel şekilde
carrying
yaptığı
out
halde
all infrastructure
belediye
needs in
sorumluluk
the best way
alanındaki
possible,
hususlarda
but when it comes to
manzara
the
birden
mandate of the
tersine
municipality, the
dönüyorsa
picture
durup bir
is
düşünmek
the
lazım.
opposite. So we should think
Başka
about the
şehirlerimizde
reasons why.
birkaç
In
ayda
other
tamamlanabilen
provinces, certain
altyapı
projects, certain
çalışmalarının
infrastructure
İzmir'de
projects
yıllarca
are completed
sürmesinin
within months,
sebebi
but in
ne
Izmir they
kaynaktır,
take
ne
multiple
araçtır,
years. It's not
ne de
because
başka
of
bir şey.
tools or because of resources or any other reason. For
İzmir'de her
instance,
tarafı sular
recently
bastı mı?
Izmir was flooded,
Benim milletim, bakıyorsunuz ekranda
and my people,
bir hanımefendi
for instance, I saw
Bay Kemal'e ne diyor?
on TV
35 yıldır diyor burayı siz
a
yönetiyorsunuz.
lady who was telling Mr. Kemal, you have been running the municipality for 35 years, so why was this infrastructure not built in the past 35 years?
Doğru.
And she's right,
Çünkü esnafın hepsinin dükkanlarını sular
because shop owners, all of their
bastı. Aynı
shops
şeyi
were
depremde
flooded,
yaşamadık mı?
but we experienced the same during the earthquake.
6 ay sonradan itibaren
And hopefully,
teslimata başlıyoruz.
beginning from
Yıl
6
sonuna
months from
kadar da
today, we will
inşallah
start
deprem
the delivery,
konutlarımızı
and by the
bugün
end of the
resmi
year,
temeline
all the
atıyoruz.
earthquake
Yıl sonuna
apartments
kadar da
will be
bitireceğiz.
delivered to their owners. We're going to lay the groundwork, start the
Bu söz
groundwork
Bay Kemal
today, and we
sözü
will
değildir
finish
ha.
them by the end of the year. And this is not a promise given to you
Şimdi
by
tek sebep
Mr.
var.
Kemal. Now,
Kendi
currently, there is
içindeki
only one reason.
taciz, tecavüz,
There is
hırsızlık,
harassment, rape,
arsızlık
theft,
dalgasıyla hesaplaşmayı
and unethical behavior
reddeden
within the
zihniyettir bizim zihniyetimiz.
political party, and they reject to face these.
Gençler şehrine ve millete hizmet etmek yerine
Rather than serving their nation and serving their city, they use their time and their resources for things that are beyond their duty, and they have unfortunately failed this city. Soon we are going to lay the groundwork for the earthquake apartments, and this is one of the best examples of it. As you know, on 30th of October of the past year, an earthquake took place, and we have assessed the situation very rapidly, and we have initiated our efforts to build 5,000 apartments. We have designated the location for the new apartments. We finished all preparations, and we started construction before the new year. And today, on the occasion of my visit to Izmir, we're going to carry out the official ceremony. If this was abandoned to the local administrations rather than the Ministry of Urbanization, there would be no plan, no groundwork, and they would not even be able to find a new location. You should have goals. To say more frankly, they are fighting over profits inside, and they wouldn't be able to find time for the actual investment. The same applies to Hakkari as well. The resources were sent there to serve our nation, but those resources were used for the benefit of the terror group, and we wouldn't, of course, allow them to continue doing this. They always complain about the government appointed governors, but they never complain about the structure that existed before, because their purpose, their point is not to defend the rights or interests of our nation, but rather to create materials for their own dark agendas. The money that was sent by the government was sent to the mountains for terrorists, and we will continue appointing trustees to such places as we did in the past. I'm proud of you. We are proud of you, and will continue our journey. They try to defend the rights of the PKK members, or in order to give support to FETÖ members, they know to go out on the streets and protest. He marched from Ankara to Istanbul hand in hand with terrorists.
Türkiye düşmanlarının verdikleri her malzemenin üzerine
They use
atlamayı
every
da
material that they're presented by the enemies of our country. But when it comes to defending the rights of our country and our nation, they say it's their job to object.
Asla iyiye iyi demeyiz beyanıyla birden muhalefet
They say
oldukları
they would
akıllarına
never
geliyor.
accept anything that is good.
Dünyanın neresine giderseniz
They would never
terör
acknowledge
gibi,
any good deed, but
uluslararası
wherever
ilişkiler
in the
gibi,
world you go,
sağlık
you
krizleri
see
gibi
problems
milli
like
konularda
terror or
siyaset
health crises. In
iktidarıyla,
such national
muhalefetiyle
issues,
tek
politics with the
tek
ruling
bilek
party
olarak hareket
and
eder.
with all opposition, the whole
Muhalefetin her
politics
hal ve
acts
şart
as a
altında
single fist in
kendi
full
ülkesinin
unity.
ve halkının
The
çıkarlarına
opposition should
saldırdığı
always,
görüntüye Türkiye'den başka
in no
yerde
other country than
rastlamazsınız.
Turkey, you would see
İnşallah
an opposition party which
2023
attacks
diğer
the
pek çok
interests
güzel
of
haber
its own
ve
nation.
müjde yanında
Hopefully, 2023
ülkemizdeki
will be a
bir
year
tek
of many
parti
good
devri
news.
artı
And
atık ya. İnşallah köhne muhalefet
hopefully,
anlayışının da
the outdated
edildiği bir
opposition
yıl olur.
mentality will also be
Bunun için
eliminated.
İzmirli kardeşlerimi,
And for that reason,
Nevşehirli kardeşlerimi,
my brothers and
Hakkari'li
sisters in the
kardeşlerimi,
provinces of
84
İzmir,
milyon
Nevşehir,
vatandaşımın
and
her
Hakkari,
birini
and each one of
tarihi
our
bir görev
83 million citizens, we have a
Gelin,
historic duty
yeni
to carry
anayasamızda
out. So let's,
dünyanın en
with
büyük
our
10
new
ekonomisi
constitution,
arasına girme hedefimizde
start our goal
bölgesel ve
to be one of the top
güç
10
merkezi
economies of the
olma
world
iddiamızda
and to be a
büyük ve
regional
güçlü
and
Türkiye'nin
global center
inşasına
of power.
hep birlikte
And let's
dört
all
elle
together
sarılalım.
build
Gelin,
a big and strong Turkey.
denizlerden uzaya kadar
And let's all
ülkelerin
together,
rekabet
all the way
içinde
from
olduğu
the
her
sea
yerde
to the space, in every area that our country
zirveye
is
çıkartalım.
competing, let's carry our
İnşallah
country to the top.
Bunları
And
hep
hopefully,
birlikte
with all of these,
gerçekleştirmeye hazır
we're
mıyız?
going to achieve those.
Hazır
Are
mıyız?
we ready for this?
Ülkemizi güçlü, milletimizi müreffeh yapma hedefimizi
We want to make
hayata
our country
geçirene
strong
kadar
and our nation prosperous.
durmak
And until we make that a
duraksamak
reality,
yok.
we will not
Kardeşlerim,
stop.
Deprem
We will
konutları
never take a break.
temel atma törenimiz sırasında
We will have
İzmir'e
a ceremony
kazandırdığımız Göztepe
of groundbreaking
Gürsel
for the
Aksel Stadyumumuzun
the
da
earthquake
resmi
apartments.
açılışını yapacağız.
We will also carry out the official
Gençler,
inauguration of the Görsel Aksel Stadium.
beğendiniz mi?
Did you like the new stadium?
Güzel mi? Ne harcadık biliyor musunuz?
Do you know how much
400
we spent for that
milyon liralık bir
stadium?
yatırımla
400
inşa edilen
million
bu stadyum,
liras.
20 bin kişilik
It can hold
tribün
20,000
kapasitesi
people.
ve bünyesindeki pek çok tesisle
And it
gerçekten
hosts some other
şehrimize
facilities as
yakışan
well.
bir eser.
And this is a work that our city deserves.
Bu eserin şehrimize hayırlı olmasını diliyorum.
I hope that it will be
Temel
auspicious
atma
for the
töreninin
city.
ardından
And
9
after
Eylül
the
Üniversitemizin
groundbreaking ceremony,
Uluslararası Göç Konferansı'na
we are going to
katılacağım.
attend the International Migration Conference of 9 Eylül University.
Hangi
İzmir is a
acılara
city
sebebiyet
that knows
verdiğini,
what migration
ardından
means or what
hangi
kind
yeni
of pain
ufukların açılışına
it
vesile
causes
teşkil
or what
ettiğini
kind of new
çok iyi bilir.
horizons it
Bir
opens.
asır önce
A century ago, this city experienced troubles, and in the past 7 or 8 years, tens of millions of people experienced the same in our geography. For that reason, the conference that we attend is going to be an important discussion at an international level of this important topic. Of course, today we are going to be sharing another good news with you today. AK Party head office, youth branch,
15 Mart'ta yapılacak 6.
will have
olağan
a
büyük
6th
kongresinde
regular
başkanlığa
Grand Congress
İzmir Gençlik
in March,
Kolları Başkanımız
and
Eyüp Kadri İnan
İnan,
aday gösteriyor.
the chairman of the İzmir Youth Branch, will be a nominee to lead that Congress.
Kendisi lise yıllarından beri
Since his high school years, he has been active in every level of our youth branch. He comes from the essence, from the core of our organization. His BA and MA was in the area of politics. He has both the information and political experience. And as the chairman of the youth branch, he, I believe, will have important contribution to our party.
Maşallah gördüğünüz gibi boy, poz
As you can see,
benden geri değil ha.
he is as tall as me.
Bu duygularla bir kez daha kongrelerimizin
And with
hayırlara
such
vesile
sentiments,
olmasını
once
diliyor.
again, I wish that the
Görev
Congress
alacak
will be
kardeşlerimi
auspicious.
şimdiden
And once again,
tebrik
I
ediyorum.
congratulate all the new
Hepinize
posts.
sevgilerimi,
And I send
saygılarımı
my
sunuyorum.
greetings and my regards
Şimdi canlı
to each one of
bağlantıyla
you.
birlikte
And now we
olduğumuz
connect live
Hakkari
to
ve Nevşehir'deki
Hakkari and
arkadaşlarımızı
Nevşehir congresses.
görmek istiyorum. Hazır mıyız? Niye oluyorsun? Evet, önce Nevşehir.
We first go to Nevşehir.
Nevşehir hazır mıyız?
Senden daha güzel kimseyi tanımadım ben. Senden daha
Evet,
güzel
şu anda
kimselere de bakmadım.
Nevşehir'de
Aklım
adayımız
geçer
Ali
tanımadım ben.
Kemikkıran.
Our candidate in Nevşehir is Ali Kemikran.
Başkan kendini şöyle bir göster, işaret buyur bakalım.
Senden daha güzel. Senden
Nevşehir.
daha güzel.
Şu anda ekranda Hakkari'yi görüyorum. Ben Nevşehir'i istiyorum. Evet. Nevşehir'de kongre adayımız Ali Kemikkıran. Buyur bakalım. Sizi dinliyoruz. Ali Bey buyur.
Sayın Cumhurbaşkanım, Anadolu'nun bağrından, Hacı Bektaşi Veli diyarından sizleri tüm teşkilatım adına saygı, hürmet ve muhabbetle selamlıyorum efendim. 8 ilçe, 15 belde, 153 köy ve 116 mahalle ile 2023 yılı hedefleri doğrultusunda emirlerinize hazırız. Arz ederim efendim.
Çok teşekkür ediyorum. Mevcut İl Başkanı Mustafa Rauf Yanar.
Efendim saygılarımızı, hürmetlerimizi sunuyoruz. 2023 yolunda inşallah Nevşehir gümbür gümbür geliyor Sayın Cumhurbaşkanım. Arz ederim.
Çok teşekkür ediyorum. Şimdi Nevşehir Kadın Kolları Başkanımız Ayşe Bilgiç.